Hi everyone, it's Taylor here today, and welcome back to the Tailored Expressions YouTube channel. Today I'm going to introduce you to our new collection of liquid watercolor. We're starting the collection with a rainbow of our most popular colors, which you can see laid out here. There are 12 of them in all, plus one bottle of iridescent shimmer. So this little bottle is a true game changer, as it gives you the ability to add just the right amount of shimmer to any of the liquid watercolors. So I know many of you are familiar with our ink collection, but one thing you may not realize is that while our inks are dye-based, they are a more permanent archival formulation, which means that you're not able to watercolor with them. You can see here I have our Cookie Monster ink and our Cookie Monster liquid watercolor. So the ink refill is with the black lid on the left, and our liquid watercolor has the white lid on the right. So that will make it really convenient for you to identify which you are using if you have all of our different ink colors. So what I want to show you is just how these react with water. And before I start that, it would be a perfect time to show you our little eyedropper bottle. We are offering this at the Tailored Expressions store, and it makes it super easy to dilute our liquid watercolors to your desired color. So I'm just dropping one drop of water in two different wells. And I'm going to start with the Cookie Monster ink refill. So this is what you would re-ink one of your ink pads with. And I'm just going to drop one drop of that color into the water. So you can see how that color is not mixing with the water. It's just sitting in the middle like a pool. So I actually made the mistake of sticking my paintbrush in here and trying to use it, and it gummed up my whole paintbrush to the point where I had to throw it away. So don't make that same mistake. Our ink refills are not meant for watercoloring. So now we have the perfect product that is meant for watercoloring. I'm going to go ahead and drop one drop of the Cookie Monster liquid watercolor, and you can see how it just fills that water up, and the other one is still kind of pooled in the middle of the water. Now, our liquid watercolor is very vibrant and intense, so I wouldn't recommend coloring with it just straight to your paper. I would at least dilute it with one drop of water, but of course you can play with that yourself and see what your preference is. So I have my well here with one drop of water and one drop of color. I'm just going to show you what that looks like painted onto our watercolor cardstock. So our watercolor cardstock is 118 pound, and it is textured on one side and smooth on the other. So you can see here that I have feathered that out to show you that the color gets lighter and lighter. It starts intense. You can also use a water brush or a regular paintbrush, whatever you prefer. So I have the start of my color chart here. You can see along the left side, I show the color diluted with just one drop of water and one drop of color and feathered out from there. So on the right side, I have diluted with an additional drop of water and feathered out to show you that you can get an even lighter color. Then I've come back after it dries, and I wanted to show you how well these colors layer. So after it's dry, you can come back with the same color or a darker version and just get a nice layer over the top. And I've also used our ink pad labels to label my swatch chart. So you might want to pick up an extra set of the ink pad labels. If you're not a fan of your own handwriting, you can use our pretty labels to label your chart. So I'm going to show you all of the colors here. We're starting with Oreo, Blue Corn, Plum Punch, Jelly Donut, Chocolate Truffle, Cookie Monster, Candy Corn, Cherry Pop, Lollipop, Lemon Meringue, Guava, and Pea Pod. So we have a beautiful rainbow of colors, and you can see how I've feathered those out. And now I want to show you the shimmer in action. So you can see that some of those shimmery bits, they do pool into the liquid, so you want to make sure you shake it very well before you use it each time. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you a couple different ways you can use this. So here I'm squirting a drop into the diluted Cookie Monster watercolor that we created earlier. And after you add the shimmer, you can paint it directly onto your paper, and it adds just a beautiful shimmer to the color. So the other way you can use this is just using the shimmer directly. So I'm going to go ahead and squirt a couple drops of the shimmer into an open well and use my paintbrush to paint it over color that we've already applied and that is dry. And you get about the same effect with either method. Just produces a nice shimmer on your colored images. Next, I want to show you this palette here that I have that is completely dry. So this is something that I used a couple days ago and let the watercolor dry. And I want to show you how you can reactivate these watercolors. So I've added a few drops of water into one of the wells, and I'm just going to grab my paintbrush and mix that around. You do want to make sure that you mix it really well, and if you don't, you will see little flecks of color as you paint onto your paper. But you should be able to see here that I'm just continuing to add color and feather that out into an even lighter and lighter color. Now once that starts to dry, you can add additional bits of color like I'm doing here. You can see how nicely that just kind of feathers out once your paper is already wet. And besides feathering really well, our watercolors play well together. So I've created this color chart to show what each color looks like with every other color in combination. So I have all 11 colors. I skipped Oreo because Oreo plus any color makes black. So on my chart, I can pick out a color that I like. I travel down from the top and over from the side to see which two colors combine to make that. So that might be something you want to add to your list to create once you receive the watercolors. So now that this purple is dry, I'm just going to go back in with a little bit more intense color. I'm adding some extra from the next well to just show you how you can layer even darker and darker to get a really nice contrast on our watercolors. So the design team has done so many amazing things with these over the week. I hope you will check out the blog and see everything that they've created, from background color washes to colored images to just about anything you can think of with watercolor. I hope you see something that's inspiring, and you will check out our new products at tailoredexpressions.com.